When mapping the class diagram to the database table diagram, the last step is step 8 for generalizations. And the textbook outlines 2 ways to do that, and we're going to use option A. So let's go through and see if we have any generalization. Looks like we have one right here. Movie item can either be a movie file or a DVD. So those are both subclasses of this more general movie item class. So the first step, make sure that the primary key of the subclass matches the primary key of the superclass. So here, let's go in our database table diagram. We have those 3 tables, but they don't match. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that they all match. So this is going to be a movie item ID, and this one is going to be movie item ID. And this is really because when we create a movie item, we're either creating a DVD or a movie file. So when we create it, it's going to have one primary key, and that's going to be the movie item ID. Then the next step is to add a relation line between the primary key with multiplicity on the superclass of 1 to 1. So we're going to connect these. And we want the multiplicity to be 1 on 1, right? So on the movie end, it's 1 dot dot 1. And then on the other end, it is on the subclass, it's 1 dot dot 1 if the superclass is abstract and 0 dot dot 1 if the superclass is concrete. So here we have to say, can we have a movie item? Can we create a movie item object that by itself that is not a movie file or a DVD? And that means we could just have a movie item by itself. That would make it concrete. But in this case, we don't have any movie item that's not a movie file or a DVD. Whenever we have a movie item, it is either a movie file or a DVD. So it is abstract. And that means that when it's abstract, it's a 1 dot dot 1 on the subclass. So 1 dot dot 1 to 1 dot dot 1. And it's going to be the same for the DVD as well. So I'm going to add that here. Okay, so we have that 1 to 1 relation between the movie item and each of the subclasses. Now it's not quite exactly right, because every time we create a movie item, we either get a movie file or a DVD. And really what we're showing right now is that whenever we create a movie item, we get 1 DVD and 1 movie file. So we have to add one more thing, and that is the Xor relation. And so we're going to do a dash line between these 2 relations to show that it's either one or the other, but not both. And we simply do that with a dash line and then label it with Xor. And there we've created a generalization. We have one more in this class, so I'll do it one more time to show you a second example of how we do it, and that's between the person and a customer employee. So we have a person and then 2 subclasses, customer and employee. So let's go ahead and do those steps one more time. So the first step is to make the IDs match. So we're going to set these both equal to the person ID. All right, and then the second is to create a relation between them that is 1 to 1, and then determine whether you need a 0, 1 on this end or a 1, 1. Again, can we have a person that's not a customer employee? And we cannot. Every person we create is either a customer or an employee. So let's see if we can make these lines work for an XOR. We can do a dashed line. We need to specify it's between this line and this line. We can go ahead and make it straight and then put XOR on it. Okay, So now we have this relation, this generalization relation between person, customer, and employee. And that is the last step in mapping the class diagram to the database table diagram.